Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're taking a look at iOS 12.4 Beta 1. As I usually like to share with you guys my follow-up thoughts every 2 to 3 days after Apple releases a major beta, and iOS 12.4 was released 2 days ago, and I've been testing the software on all of these iPhones that you see here over the last 48 hours. I have a lot of great news to share with you guys, and I barely even left the house testing all these iPhones. As I usually like to do on my follow-up videos, I like to share what the batteries like, the performance, if there's any bugs, any additional new changes that I may come across within the software over the testing stages. That's what I'm going to be sharing with you guys today. Now, if you haven't watched my initial coverage, links will be in the description down below for that. Now, I want to start off by go ahead and covering the iPhone 5S first. Now, I chose older devices to test within this software because Apple is rumored to be leaving these iPhones in iOS 12. They will not make it to iOS 13 according to some of the latest rumors, and I'll get to some of the details as to why throughout the video, but the first one I want to talk about is the iPhone 5S. Now, the iPhone 5S on iOS 12.4 has been running very, very good. Everything is snappy, opening and closing applications, the app switcher, closing apps, going in and out of apps, everything is flowing perfectly. On the iPhone 5S, I managed to get 5 to 6 hours of on-screen time just back-to-back testing of the software over the last 48 hours. It is really, really good performance. On the iPhone 6 is also one of those iPhones that will most likely be left behind in iOS 12, and iOS 12.4 could very well be the last update for the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus. So I wanted to test this iPhone as well, and I can't complain either. Connections have been good, performance has been great, the battery has been very, very good on the iPhone 6 as well, anywhere from 6 to 6.5 and even 7 hours of on-screen time in some cases on the iPhone 6. So very, very happy that Apple is really optimizing iOS 12 for these older iPhones. In case they do stay behind, they have a great software. Now, the iPhone SE is also rumored to be left behind in iOS 12. Now, if you think about this doesn't make a lot of sense unless Apple is trying to get rid of these small screen devices, right? Because the iPhone SE has the same processing power as an iPhone 6S or 6S Plus. And by being a smaller device, sometimes it feels a lot more powerful and snappier running through the OS than the bigger counterparts, the iPhone 6S and 6S Plus. And the iPhone SE has been running very, very good as well. I can't complain anything at all with iOS 12.4 Beta 1 on any iPhone that I've tested, from the 5S up to the iPhone XS. Everything is working really, really good. Now, the iPhone SE feels very snappy going through the app switcher. The animations are very good. Everything from scrolling to opening and closing applications and AirPlay and things like that are also running on par with the newer iPhones like the iPhone XS and XS Max. That's how speedy the iPhone SE feels on iOS 12.4. Hopefully Apple does not leave this iPhone behind and does get iOS 13 support, because it doesn't make a lot of sense. The power is definitely there. Now, testing on the monster, the big boy, the iPhone 6S Plus. This one gave me the best battery out of all the iPhones. This one gave me 8.5 of on-screen time, right? So the iPhone 6S Plus is doing very good on iOS 12.4. The connections, the Wi-Fi speeds, the connection to the networks, and AirPlay and AirDrop, all these features run very, very smooth on the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus models and 6S and 6S Plus models as well. So Apple is definitely focusing their attention on polishing up older iPhones with iOS 12.4, which is definitely a good sign. Keep in mind that even if Apple leaves these iPhones out of iOS 13, we'll be running iOS 12.4 on most devices out there, because of course iOS 13 won't be shipping until September, only in beta form in June 3rd. Now, last but not least, I want to talk about my primary device, the iPhone XS. Now, if you watch my initial coverage for iOS 12.4, you already know my thoughts on iOS 12.4 running on the iPhone XS. Now, this might sound a little crazy, but I would prefer running iOS 12.4 Beta 1 on an iPhone XR, XS, and XS Max rather than iOS 12.3, which is an official software released by Apple. iOS 12.3, for whatever reason, on the iPhone XS, XS Max, and XR has been giving me issues with Wi-Fi calling, with cell connection, with Wi-Fi speeds, all of that has been having issues on the newer iPhones on 12.3. But 12.4 hasn't been that way, which is kind of weird. Apple sort of fixed it with 12.2, came back with 12.3 beta 3, I believe it is, and the problems began to occur again. And now 12.4 beta 1 actually makes it a lot better. The performance is phenomenal. The battery on this device was anywhere from 8 to, in some cases, 8.5 hours of on-screen time. Everything is running phenomenal on the iPhone XS. The iPhone XS is probably one of the fastest performance iPhones I've seen on any iOS version. With this one, 12.4, it's been just crazy smooth. Butter, control center, toggling 3D touch, everything toggles on or off. Everything has been running great. The battery is fine. I haven't come across any bugs, nothing I can report on, any bugs or issues with this iPhone XS. Now, a minor change within the setup process, I was setting up the iPhone SE, I believe, and I used my iPhone XS to transfer the data over. Now, this transfer data prompt has been here the whole time. Of course, you can transfer your data from one iPhone to another, but the way it was presented is a little different. There's a different splash screen, if you will, for the transferring data from one iPhone to another. So just wanted to share that minor detail with you guys. There is a minor change there on the splash screen. All in all, iOS 12.4, I want to say that I recommend it more than iOS 12.3. That's how polished and good this software feels. Now keep in mind, this software will not be released to the public anytime soon. We're looking at maybe another month of betas, which is rumored to be enabling the Apple Card feature on these devices, which is set to be released later in the summer. So that puts this software, if that's true, that puts iOS 12.4 being released anywhere towards the end of June, the beginning of July, depending on when Apple is going to be releasing their Apple Card. So that's going to be my follow-up thoughts on the software. Great performance, great battery, no bugs whatsoever that I can report on. If Apple continues on this trend, iOS 12.4 is going to be a home run on older devices as well as new devices. Thank you so much for watching today's video, guys. I hope you guys have a great day. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.